Hey guys, this is Sarah at the Book Life for this week's video for stacking the shelves. Got quite a large stack this week. Makes me feel a little over book spendy, but you know, what are you going to do? I think I'm going to start with the books that I won, which I did win one book this week from Gabby. Uh, it is Forsaken, or The Forsaken rather, by Lisa M. Stoss, and it's actually signed, which is awesome, and came with a couple bookmarks in there, which is cool. So thank you, Gabby. I can't wait to read this one. It's been on my wish list for quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to starting that one. And then I got for review. Well, actually, let me start with the ones that I got on e-reader. I got a couple from Edelweiss this week. I was very excited to get the approval emails for these because as soon as I heard about them, they went to the top of my wish list because I absolutely adore contemporaries. There is How My Summer Went Up in Flames. I don't know how well you can see the cover on that. It's kind of small. And it is by, oops, Jennifer Doktorsky. I am pretty sure I butchered that. But anyways, it's coming out in May, and it is a road trip novel. I think the initial setup is that she sets her ex-boyfriend's car on fire, and obviously that is a problem. But she ends up hitting the road with a neighbor, I believe. Or I'm getting that confused with the next book that I also got that's also a road trip book. But and it just sounds really awesome. I love road trip contemporaries, and as soon as I saw this one, I think I saw it on Somebody's Waiting on Wednesday a couple months ago. I just knew I needed to read it, so I was really excited when it popped up on Edelweiss, and even more excited when they told me that I was going to be able to read it. So thank you, Simon and Schuster. The next one that I got is Right of Way by Lauren Barnholt. It is the companion novel to Two-Way Street, which I believe I read back in 2009, before I was even blogging. And it is also a road trip novel. The main character, I believe, is the cousin of one of the main characters from Two-Way Street. I don't know if those characters will make an appearance or not, but either way, I'm really looking forward to reading it. And it has got, well, it's road trip, but it's exes on a road trip together. So that promises to be exciting for sure. And then I also got Unremembered by Jessica Brody. It didn't have a cover for the ebook copy, but it is from Macmillan, and I'm really looking forward to that one. She's the only survivor of the plane crash, but she doesn't really remember what happened. So that one looks really cool, kind of creepy. The cover is super like fuzzy and kind of creepy looking, so that's cool. And then for review from HarperCollins, I got The Bully Book by Eric Gale. I hadn't actually heard of this one. But it came with another book that I had requested for review, and it looks like it's middle grade, or maybe it's kind of borderline middle grade young adult. But it actually looks really cool and looks like it could be really funny. So I'm quite looking forward to jumping into this one. It's a short one, so it should be a quick read. And on the back it says, "This book can destroy your life. Are you going to let it? Open if you dare." So, and I love the cover, the crown on top of the bee. I think that's cool. And then I also got from Harper Unravel Me, Tahar Mafi. Uh, I was so excited when I got an email back saying that they did have this one available and they could send it to me because I've been dying to find out what happens next after reading Shatter Me. And I got to meet Tara, and when she and Veronica Rossi were doing a book tour, book signing tour, and they came to Miami, and so I drove down there so that I could meet them and get my book signed and everything, and she's just absolutely the sweetest. Both of them are really sweet. So I'm seriously looking forward to this. She promised more Kenji in book 2, and I'm a fan of Kenji, but she also said there's more Warner, so I don't know how I feel about Warner. I know there are a lot of Warner fans out there, but I'm still on the fence. And then the last and possibly most exciting one that I got this week would be Things I Can't Forget by Miranda Keenely. I absolutely adore all of her books. you know, Catching Jordan is one of my favorite contemporaries ever. I've sat down and read it a couple of times now. Stealing Parker, I also really, really liked. Not as much as Catching Jordan, but sometimes the first one, you can't beat the first one. Although this one, I like that it's set in camp, or at camp, rather. I think that's a really cool place to set the basis for your story. She sent a Catching Jordan bookmark with it, and she signed it, which is fabulous. I'm actually doing a blog tour for this in March when the book comes out, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm sure I will read it probably way before March. In fact, I know I'll read it before the end of the year. But, so I'm very excited about this, really looking forward to it. That made me jump up and down and squee today when I got it in the mail. Alright, now on to the books that I bought. First up, I went, J.A. Souders, aka Jessica. She had her launch party for Renegade in Orlando on Tuesday. So my best friend and I hopped in the car, drove to Orlando. It's not real far from here, because I absolutely adore the book. I actually had won an ARC from her earlier this year, and so I'd already read it, loved it, and of course I wanted a finished copy of it, and I wanted it signed, just like my ARC. So we went ahead and hopped on the highway and went over to Orlando. Got lost a little bit, but we made it there, and got my book signed. And I actually picked up, she had some really cool swag to go with it as well. And I took a bunch of pictures, and I'm going to be doing a blog post early next week about the launch party. The building that the party was in is actually the building that inspired Sector 3 in the book, which is really cool. And the building was awesome, or the conference room, I guess, that it was really, really cool. In all of my excitement of finding the place, being there, and getting to hang out, I didn't actually take just some pictures of the building, but we're all in the building in all the pictures, so you'll kind of be able to get an idea of how cool it was. Let's see, and then I got Small, Medium, at Large by Joanne Levy. This is to go along with my newfound love of middle grades. I love the cover on this one. I think it's super adorable. And it's actually really small. I wasn't expecting it to be so small, but I'm really intrigued by the ghost genre. I like ghost stories. So, and I've heard it's really funny and just really adorable. So I'm looking forward to starting that one. This one was kind of new on my radar, but I saw some people talking about it, read some reviews on Goodreads, and everybody said it was really fantastic. Sanctum by Sarah Fine. And so I went ahead. There was a coupon and gift card, and there was a sale online at Books A Million, so I ordered some books. No more books for Sarah. But anyways, Sanctum by Sarah Fine. I'm really looking forward to starting this one. It seems like maybe it's a little bit darker. I guess the main character's best friend kills herself and ends up in behind the suicide gates, and so she dies so that she can go there and find her friend and bring her back. So definitely interesting. The next one is My Super Sweet 16th Century by Rachael Harris. I've heard that this is really funny and really creative and unique. Jenna at Making the Grade could not stop talking about this book. She said it was just so awesome. So I'm really looking forward to getting started on it. I actually like the cover. I'd never really seen it up close before, just online, but she's wearing like a nice Victorian type gown and holding a real American, modern day backpack, which is really cool. This one came highly recommended via Twitter. Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom. It's the heroes from various different, fairy tales that we know, Disney stories, what have you, where, there's always the hero that saves the princess or whatever, but in this story, the heroes have all been kind of shut out by their princesses, I guess. Kind of like, okay, we don't need you, I think is the whole thing here, and they're trying to reclaim their fame, or at least their good name, maybe. But it's got some really cute illustrations in it. You'll find one here. And I've heard it's funny, and it just sounds really good, so I'm glad I picked this one up. hopefully I'll get to read it soon. The one thing I've heard about middle grade that will be nice for me is that they're a little bit quicker reads because they're a little bit less complex, I suppose. Although I'm sure that's not true for all of them. But so maybe I'll be able to get a few of them under my belt quicker than I will be able to some of the young adult reads. I finally picked up a copy of Don't You Wish by Roxanne St. Clair. I have been trying to, well, I've been back and forth over buying this book for months. I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's contemporary with a little bit of a twist. And because of the sale and the coupon and the gift card, I just decided to go for it. I like the cover with the girl up here and then kind of like a mirrored, blurry reflection of her down here, since it's her sort of like what if she had a different life. So she's kind of both places. So this one looks really awesome. And the last one that I got is Keeper of the Lost Cities. I've been hearing about this all over the place, like everywhere. So I finally decided that I just needed to have it on my shelf. I was just talking to Anna at Literary Exploration on Twitter the other night, and she said it's really cute and it's fun. It's a pretty quick read, she says, which is good. I'm hoping to start this one before the end of the year as well. I want to start getting up some middle grade reviews before the new year. So that one's definitely high up on my list of to reads. And that is it. That is all. Now that I've listed them all on video, I guess they don't seem as many as they did when I saw them sitting on my shelf. Maybe that's because I've placed them in various different places now. But anyways, so let me know what you guys got this week. Leave links or lists or whatever you want in the comments. And I hope you all had a wonderful week. We will see you next weekend.